Good morning, everybody. How you doing? So we have 10:30, end of September. Are we all ready? What's on your needles? What's on your needles? Let's go through that first, shall we? I've got my cup of tea here, and I got lots of nitty stuff to show you here. But I want to know what's on your needles. You must be sitting there and knitting something. If you're watching the replay, you may want to move 3 or 4 minutes on when we get to the juicy information. Is there anybody there? I know you're there. I can see that you're watching. Oh dear. Nicola's here. Hi, Nicola. Hello. And tell us where you are as well. I think we're in a few time zones here. Could be watching, but some of them will be just completely out of it. So yeah, let us know where you are and what you're knitting and whether or not you've got a cup of tea next to you. I certainly have. Ah dear. So today is all about the knit along that's coming up. I'm also going to run through all of the kits that we are launching this month. Last 2 things go out on Thursday this week. Make sure you're on the email list, because then you'll have all the emails with the information. And the thing with being on the email list as well is that you get first dibs at a lot of things. So yeah, you're in. You can do that just by going on the website. You'll see it. But we have these things coming up on Thursday. Very Christmassy. Oh dear. Oh, I had a bad night, so I had to set my alarm to wake me up for this. So I hope you have something good to say. Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm here for you. Coffee and urine, Ross and White, and Hertford. I live in this country. I can't even say it. Herefordshire. Hi. The Hooting Pirate. Hi, Cara. And you're in Luxembourg. Brilliant. So we are crossing borders. Quite a few to get to Luxembourg. And of course, I'm in the south of England. I'm in Hampshire. Jay is from Galway, Ireland. Brilliant. Another border we cross. YouTube doesn't recognize borders. We are just here, aren't we? So tell me if you've got anything on your knitting needles. This is what we do when we come to a knit and natter, and that's with the knit along as well. It's, which part of it are you knitting now? How are you getting on? So yeah, it's good fun. The community spirit of knitting makes so much sense when you all come together. It's community spirit. You can't fake it. That is what it is. Let's go through the knits that have been released over the last few weeks. And if you've got any questions about any of them, then feel free to ask. Stick anything in the comments that you want to know, any details or anything like that. A lot of these are knitted with the big wool, which is super chunky, and we have one with felted tweed as well, and that's the thinner yarn that you use 4mm needles with. Yeah, I've kind of gone thin and really thick. There's nothing with this release that's somewhere in the middle. In the summer, we were DK cotton, absolutely loved it. We love knitting with DK cotton. And in spring last year, we brought in the Aran yarn, which is like worsted weight. So it was very much a medium weight, and we were knitting baby blankets with them. So we've got quite a big range of stuff in the shop now. This is all about winter knitting, keeping you cozy and keeping you warm. And these are ideal for knitting for gifts as well, because in relative terms, because it's a thick yarn, it's a quicker knit. Some of them will be 4 balls of yarn, so they will take longer, but it's a quicker knit than you might have otherwise, certainly if you're using a thinner yarn for the same item. So we have lacy cowls. This is called the big lace cowl. I've knitted it up in 2 colours to share with you. There we go. So it's knitted not in the round, you knit it up and you can see just slightly, where was it? There is the seam, but it's not particularly noticeable. There you go. So that's the big lace cowl. Really nice and cozy. And once you've got it all up and over your shoulders like that, it really does keep you warm. My glasses were steaming up and we were taking photographs for this. Oh dear. And we have the beret as well. So this is, you could also call it a, because it does sit in a circle, but you could also call it a slouch beanie, because you can wear it like that. There we go. This reminds me of the kind of knits that my grandma used to wear, because she used to wear things in pairs, but that wasn't very flattering. Go and see some more photographs on the website that are more flattering. I don't think I'm going to put many more hats on today. So, oh, thank you, Jay. She likes that. There we are. So we have the beret, and both of these are adult sizes. I don't have these in different sizes, but these would just be slightly large on a teen, and they'd be wearing them for years. But this is so cozy. The thing with this is that I designed something, it's very, very similar to this. I pretty much used the same pattern, I just altered it slightly. So it's a slightly different shape, and I think it's a bit better. I designed this 2010, I think, and I was using a super chunky cotton yarn. But this is wool, so it's warmer when you put it on, and it's not going to get dense with rain or anything like that. Wool has the natural oils in it, and while it's not waterproof, it reflects spots of rain, so that's better. Yeah, so that is an old pattern, and I've just revamped it and improved it this year. There you go. See, the wise knitting pattern designer in me has come along and said, what can we do that's slightly different? How can we change it? How can we make it better? So I've done that this year. So we have the big lace beret and the big lace cowl. And I call the big wool, this is called big wool from Rowan. I call patterns that use big wool big. This is the big lace cowl, and that's the big lace beret. So there we go. That is them too. Let me take this off and ruin my hair again. What came out next was these headbands. Do we have the headbands? I've got a feeling I'm missing something. What am I missing? Oh, I haven't got the moss stitch things. Where are they? Oh, they're right here. It's okay, I've got them here. Hi, Pam from Pembrokeshire in Wales. We have the headbands. So you can't see how lovely that purple is, really. And it only came across so well in the photographs. This is a really warm purple. It looks kind of cold. There you go. You see it better on the website. There we go. So we also have the twist headbands, which I showed you how to do in the video a couple of weeks ago. If you want to go and find that, you can watch that. And all of these kits come with a QR code in the pattern that takes you to the video tutorials that can guide you through the pattern. There isn't specific tutorial for every single item. It's not, this is how you knit this. It's, you need these skills. So I've picked all the different videos from YouTube that will take you through the different skills, the different abbreviations, and especially with this, how to create the twist in the headband. So that is all included with the kit and the pattern when you get them. So that's an extra bonus. That's the thing. Knitting patterns can be tough. I get lots of emails from people saying, I'm struggling with this knitting pattern, can you help me? I even got an email this week saying, make a video please for this knitting pattern. But I can't, it's a policy, I will not make a video for anyone else's knitting pattern. And the tutorials I have on YouTube will guide you through a lot of the steps that you need to knit up all sorts of different patterns. But very specifically, I've created playlists for all of these knitting kits and patterns that you can find on the website now. And this is the last one. This is a ribbed one. And we have 2 sizes of this because it's putting a lot of stitches on the needle and knitting a short number of rows. So we have a smaller one as well. So you can knit that for a teen or a 8, 9, 10-year-old, and it will fit them. This one I love because it is so thick. See how far it goes? That's going to keep you warm. But they match what we have here. And I remember showing some of you this in a live, I think it was in the membership, and you all fell in love with it. This is the triangle shawl with the tassels, and that purple still isn't showing up. Oh, that's better. That purple's showing up better just as I hold it there. There you go. In amongst the teal, it's looking better. There you are. But this gives you 4 balls of yarn. You knit through 1 for the first half, 2 for the middle, and then 1 for the last piece. And you make the tassels with the leftovers. There's enough yarn to make the tassels. When I was making these, when I was designing them, I made the tassels first. Done that before with a pattern just to make sure I had enough yarn, and I did. It worked that way, so I've done it again for this. I love this. It's just so cozy. You can wear it in so many different ways. You can bet there are how to wear a triangle shawl tutorials on YouTube or on Facebook or something, and you'll find them. You can have it hanging down your arm like that, so it's on the side. You can have it down your front like that, and of course you don't need to wrap it twice. It can literally be just keeping the back of your neck warm while you're sitting on the sofa, that kind of thing. That is the kind of thing that I wear around the house in the midwinter. And I have a crochet shawl that I wear like this if it's just a bit chilly in the summer. So it's been cloudy for a few days and the house has just cooled down a bit. I'll just stick something like this on. But there you go. That is the triangle shawl, and it's the big triangle shawl because we knit it with the big yarn. There we are. So that also have a different colorway here. I knitted this with the, I think it's Aurora pink, and this is concrete. It's like a beige color, so that's really cozy. Oh, just feel it here, cuddle it, nice. So let me just see if you've got any questions about them. Janie's here. Hi, she's here finally from Cornwall. Love your yarn, colours, quality, and knitting styles. Thank you. You're so sweet. Let me get the cuffs and cowls out. I'll see if I can give myself a little bit more light. Excuse me there. I'm sat in front of a big window here, but so that I don't get masses of glare on my face or my glasses, I actually have the pale curtain closed. But as it suddenly got cloudy, it's got really dark. That's a bit better, isn't it? You can see me better. There we are. So this is still packed up from when we took photos the other weekend. So we have two different sizes, two different colorways that we suggest. There we are. This is the moss stripe shawl, and the stripes in this, as you go through the moss stitch, really kind of blend into each other. Again, you can't quite appreciate the colours there. It's just a thing, isn't it? Got them up there. That's because the light is starting to rain. I've now put a light on. That's a wee bit better. There we are. So we have the bubbles really showing off the 4 different shades. And obviously we've got the 2 shades for the 2 rib pieces. But then they're really mixing in with each other as you go through. And the cowls, you could just pick 4 colours. If you are following me on Instagram, you'll see that I shared, it might have been Sunday, lots of different colourways and methods you can use to pick your colours out. Because especially if you're choosing 4 colours, it can be tricky. But as I've been doing this for quite a lot of years now, I thought I'd share with you the little tricks that I use. There you go. That's there's a purple. That's what we cast on with there. Then it goes into pink. Then you got the grey, the charcoal grey, and then it goes into avocado green that you can see there. So the 2 bright colours are separated by the 2 darker, dull colours, and that tends to work quite well with this. So as you're mixing through the colours, you don't really see the backgrounds, but then also the brighter colours don't clash with each other. I just tested that out to see how it would look if I used more brights, and it just looked a bit like, I don't know, Vivienne Westwood kind of thing. There you are. You can't even see that very well. That's really bright. That's a bright teal, pink, and avocado together with the bilberry purple. But with them all together, if you see it in real life, it's just that bit too much. You know, unless you're the kind of person who wants to make that kind of statement, then go for it. But if you're someone who just wants a cowl to sit there, and not, be over the top, then the 2 backgrounds and the 2 brighter colours really do work well. I'll just show you what goes with it. I've had one sock syndrome with this. The second cuff is sitting on my needles and I haven't finished it. There you are. It'd be really quick to knit because it was really quick to knit the first one. But that is the cuff that goes with it. The pair of cuffs, of course, you need 4 balls of yarn for that as well, because you want the 4 colours. But you also need 4 balls of yarn for this. So if you get the pair, if you choose the pair, then it's a big discount on getting them 2 separately. So yeah, that is definitely an option for you if you want to knit them. It's obviously going to take longer than the patterns with the thick yarn because it's a moss stitch. It's on DK yarn and 3.25mm needles, but it's a really nice, thoughtful project. But because it takes that time, you can really enjoy the effort and the detail that goes into it. That's why I love switching between thick yarns and thin yarns. Sometimes it just gives you that interest, so the detail can really show. Okay, so yes, what is coming out this week? So would you like to know about what's coming out this week first, or would you like to know about the knit along? Which is most important to you? If you're knitting, then you got to put down your needles and type in the comments. Okay, I'll carry on with with the products. Oh, Cal. There you go. We have an answer. Cara wants to know about the knit along. Okay, so the knit along. I was umming and ahhing about which item to choose for the knit along, because with the other releases, I've literally said we're knitting this item that I'm releasing with everything else for the knit along. If you want in the knit along, get it. But this time of year, it was very much on my mind that we all have priorities for our knitting. We're getting into our knitting habit again, especially if you're someone who tends to put it down for the summer. And you may have gifts that you want to knit. You may have priorities for yourself. I'm knitting a cardigan I want to wear this winter or something. And then me telling you to pick one thing to join the knit along, it could be completely out of your comfort zone or completely out of your plan. So it just won't work for you. So really what I want for this knit along is to just come together and say, we're knitting. We keep the habit going. We encourage and motivate each other. And that's really what this knit along is all about. I've called it the anything goes knit along. So you can literally tell me, I've got stuff on my plate already. I know what I'm knitting. I don't want to be distracted from it. And you can join the knit along. It's there in the shop. You can go and sign up for it. I'll put it there so you can see all of the details there as well. But the point is, if you just buy into the knit along, then you can do that. You can also get a discount if you also purchase something from the shop. It has to be a digital pattern or a higher priced item than that, and then you get 25% off of the knit along. So the knit along will consist of 3 video calls. They will be the 15th of October, the 22nd of October, and then remember the 5th of November. So the first 2 will be a week apart, and then we've got 2 weeks to carry on knitting, to keep going, to know I've got another call in 2 weeks' time. Yes. And then you can share how well you're doing. And I am so excited to share with you that this is the important thing. It's that we keep knitting. It's that we really enjoy knitting and we enjoy inspiring each other. If we're all going to be knitting different things in the knit along, then we can get excited by it, inspired by each other. But we all know that we're knitting as a community. We're knitting together. So this is anything goes knit along. I wanted it to be completely different for you this time of year, because I really do feel that's what we need at this time of year. Me dictating something that you have to knit, it doesn't help you. But if you want something from the kits, if you want something from the knitting patterns, you've already got the yarn yourself, go along and get the knit along as well, and you'll have a 25% discount. Or, like I said, if you've already got something on your needles, you know what you're knitting, you've got your plan organized, then go for it. Just get the knit along, put that in your cart, and you'll be welcomed with open arms. Inside the knit along, when you order it, when you purchase it, there's already a digital document in there, and you will have the links to sign up for the calls. It's really important that you sign up for them as soon as you enter, because I'll be sending emails from that place. I won't be sending emails from my email account. I'll be sending emails from the call. It's just a weird system. Sometimes people who join the knit along and get in the calls aren't on my email website list. So it's to do with GDPR. You're saying I'm in on the calls, but I don't want weekly emails, and that's fine. So you will be there, and I will be sending emails from the call base. So yeah, if you need updates, if you want reminders, and you want to be in on the calls, then you have to sign up ASAP. But yes, we're not getting going until October 15th, but the sooner you're in, the more emails and goodies you might get. Also on that digital download are a few videos linked to really get you inspired to maybe plan what you knit because you're not really sure, to consider what you're knitting, and to keep knitting. And knitting for Christmas as well. So yeah, there are a few knitting things there. Janie says, I'm currently knitting from one of your kits I purchased. Perfect knitting therapy. Yes, that's it. We so need this at this time of year. There's so much happening. Just think, what is happening at this time of year? You're thinking about Christmas. You might be thinking about Hanukkah, other events, other celebrations. There may be birthdays coming up. There may also be, you have to organise Halloween costumes, get ready for bonfire night in the UK. So many things. Children's concerts at school. It all starts at this time of year and it is all clumped together. So there's so much else going on. Knitting is so important. That me time. Letting yourself close the door, tell everyone else that you've had enough, that you just need half an hour to knit. And that can be brilliant for you. It can be so supportive. So let's do that together and encourage each other to really get that. We all get that. People sitting next to you on the sofa while you're knitting may not get it, but we all get it. And being in that kind of group will just really be an encouragement. Jay, my husband is away with the army in Syria for 6 months. Knitting and crochet will get you through. Yes. Oh, so true. It will. Oh dear, that's a tough assignment. Goodness me. But yes, knitting and crochet will get you through. Crafting and being in a group while you're doing those kind of things can really, really help too. I'm so glad you found me and here on the you're here on the live call. That's a great start. Oh, hi Caroline. Knitting table mats in cotton pink. Cool. Brilliant. And then working out what to knit with Melissa yarn. Brilliant. Oh, Caroline got married on the 5th of November. No, you always remember, don't you? So what's coming out on Thursday, as well as a knit along. The knit along's in the shop now if you want to go and sign up. Here we are. So on Thursday we have Christmas hats in 3 different sizes. So you get the pattern once. You can knit it so many times for so many different people. We have massive. We have medium and we have titchy. Where's the titchy one? This one is so cute. Look at it. It's so titchy. That will fit a 6-year-old and they'll be wearing it for 5 years. There you go. That's one of the massive ones. I made 2 massive ones. Got someone to help me and knitted one for me. She knitted a massive one as well. So I had the 2 different colours to wear in the photographs. And then that's a medium-sized one. So that's for a teen or a smaller adult. There you go. This is the loop stitch. There is a loop stitch tutorial already on YouTube. And that is linked in the digital download. So don't panic. You've never done that before. I'm going to show you when I first did the loop stitch. I found it. I didn't realise I'd kept it. It's here somewhere. It's got buried under all of this. Here we are. I was a girl guide. And it was a very small girl guide troop. There weren't many of us. And it was pretty lame, to be honest. So basically, I went through different badges with my mum. And we did some activities there every Friday evening. Girl Guides, I can't even get my hand in there anymore, but it's a sock puppet, it's a finger puppet. I knitted this. It's supposed to be a lion. He's got a tongue on his left-hand side there. Skew with eyes, and he's got a looply fringe. Cool. So that's his mane. But that is my first attempt at the loop stitch. But having done that and having found it a good few years ago now and realized, oh, this certainly is possible, I definitely said, you've got to use that again. So I made a smaller loop stitch hat 2 or 3 years ago, and this again is a reincarnation. It's very much a Santa hat. And I don't want you to think you can't knit this kind of thing in different colours. If you knit it in navy blue, for example, with a white fringe and pom-pom, then you can very much wear it for longer through the year. And of course, you can knit these in any colours and wear it all through the winter. We have a short pom scarf and a very, very long pom scarf. Yes. So this long one takes 3 balls of yarn and this one takes 2, not including the poms. So there you are. So these are also very cozy and perfect for messing up your hair when you're on camera. But yes, the simplicity is it's garter stitch and it has poms on the end. And if you get the kits, then obviously I can just send you all the yarn straight away, no problem. I think you can just about see, there it is, the Christmas yarn up there. There you go. So this is what's coming out this week. The knit along is ready for you to sign up. Go and grab it if you want it. I'd really love to have anyone here join me. I'm not running the membership anymore. That's slowly wound down. So the whole idea is that we just do intermittent, occasional things like this rather than it being every single month within the membership, because we were starting to do them as well as the membership. And to be honest, for me, I can only do so many lives and it was getting a bit too much. So knitting along with patterns and doing anything like anything goes knit along as well felt more important. And I love the fact that different people get involved at different times of the year and we see people again and again and again. So the community feel doesn't go away. It's, oh, you were in the last knit along, hi again. And we're very much community knitters coming together and spurring each other on. I think that's the beauty of it. It's that a lot of people didn't realize they could knit something with the different patterns that were available this year, and it felt so much easier than it looked. And it's exactly the same with the items that I've got here, because you've got the video tutorials to guide you through, and I'm here to answer any questions. When it comes to the knit alongs, we have knit and natters separate. So we have the private video calls, and the private video calls let you come on camera and show us what you're knitting, show us the different colors that you're knitting with, the different yarns, ask questions about the yarns, the needle sizes, all sorts, and ask questions about the specific patterns as well. And I'm here to help you, because I've been knitting for so many years. I've probably knitted with what you're talking about or use the different stitches, so I can help. And of course, there's a great discussion in the chat. Similar to this, we chit chat in the text chat as well, and everyone can really inspire each other there too. So if you don't want to come on video, it is absolutely not forced. It's something that you can choose to do rather than opt out of. There you go. So there you are. That is that for today, unless you have any just random knitting questions that you'd like me to answer, because I can sit here for another 10 minutes maybe, but yeah, if you've got anything you'd like me to answer about these knits or indeed about the knit along, then do let me know. Mr. Energy, hi there. A new fan but a big fan. That's nice. Thank you very much. Yeah. What's coming up on the channel? We've got October, November, and December. So I am going to be motivating you to carry on knitting. You know, it's it's that time of year, like I said, when things happen. So I'm going to keep you going. I'm going to keep you knitting here on the channel. Mr. Energy, is $30 too much for a beanie? No, not at all. If you're knitting something, you're taking time, you're putting effort into it. Depends on the yarn size. You could even charge more. If it's a really thin yarn, if you're knitting it on a knitting machine, then it will be faster to knit it. I have seen people knitting with knitting machines, likely charging slightly less than a hand knitted item, because it takes less time. It's zoom, 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 zoom. But if you're knitting a beanie and you're hand knitting it yourself, you could definitely charge more, because you've got to take into account 3 things: the materials, which is obviously the yarn, and if you want to put buttons on it or anything like that, then you need it. You need to take into account any fees that you pay when you sell it. So, such as a PayPal fee if you're selling it through PayPal, or a fee if you're selling through Etsy, which actually is going up and going up. Websites like that can charge quite a lot to the seller for selling an item. The third thing you need to think about is the costs of running a business, and just relate it to working in a shop. The shop owner has to pay the rent on the shop. You, if you're selling online, have to pay the rent on a website. Maybe you have to pay the rent for putting something into an online shop if you're using Folksy or Etsy, or not on the high street or something like that. There is a charge for that, but there's also the running costs of buying a computer next year because you need a new one, or you need a better phone or a better camera to take photographs. Just those little things add up. So it all has to go somewhere, but it's the time that it takes to knit something. That has to be the most important thing. Remember that. Remember that the time you take to knit something is so fundamental on how much it sells for, because there's the materials, there's the fees, there's the cost of running a business. But the time that it takes to knit something, not only the time, it probably will take you less time if you're more experienced, because you might be a faster knitter. So then your cost per hour goes up. So if you're taking more time as a less experienced knitter, then you have a smaller rate per hour, but that goes up as you take less time to knit the same thing. So yes, it's a complicated thing. It's not too much for a beanie. People out there will be going $30 for a beanie. Are you kidding me? That's no way near enough. I'd pay $300, because there are designer beanies out there. You realize that there are people in the world who will pay all sorts of prices. They won't even look at a $30 beanie because it's too cheap. You sell it for $60 or $80 and they'll go, yeah, I'm in. That's a decent beanie. Never think about your prices as something that people will sniff at because it's too expensive. You have to think about things in many ways as you're an exclusive, you're a specialist part of the niche. You're not knitting for Target or Asda in this country. You're knitting for a single person running a small business, an entrepreneur, an established knitter, an experienced knitter. So there you go. That's my preach. That's my TED Talk. My TED Talk for the day. I didn't think I was going to get into one of them, but I am. Hi, Carol. Thank you for joining. Oh, dear. Right. So after my TED Talk, thank you very much. Do go and have a look at the knit along. I'd really love to have you join. I love everybody here on the YouTube channel. You comment every week, you watch the videos every week, and I'll be so happy to have you as part of the inside community as well. Carol is knitting a jumper for a porcelain doll. That sounds very cool. Yeah, I like that idea. Very cool. I will see you next week with a pre-recorded video, and obviously week after week after week. And if you want to join the knit along, then 15th of October is our first meet. Thank you so much. I often listen to your YouTube videos, which I find perfectly cozy. Yes, I know you watch them while you're knitting. Just, I fancy something. I watch YouTube while I'm knitting. Why not? Yeah. It's very similar to Netflix, but it's just a completely different feel. So I love that kind of thing on in the background as I'm doing something else. I love sitting there and watching it when I'm really tired as well. But yeah, great. You're very welcome, Mr. Energy. Oh dear. I appreciate you as well. Thank you for being here live. Thank you, all of you, for being here live. I've very much appreciated it. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments. I appreciate you too. And do give me a thumbs up as well. Thumbs up really helps me. It shares the video with more people. So in that respect, it helps knitters as well. I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Happy knitting.